Hey, how's it going, guys? Currently May 2nd, 11:22 a.m., and I am feeling nothing but lack of motivation and desire to speak. Woke up this morning, realized, damn, low key, got to put out a piece of content because I told myself I would, and I'd hold myself accountable to doing so. But I was just feeling so dead, like just so tired. Didn't want to move even out of my bed and didn't even have the desire to even open my mouth and just speak, even if that meant just talking to myself. So I don't know. I wasn't really feeling it, which is kind of funny because it's day two, after day one of me being like, all right, I'm going to get this shit done. I'm going to do this. I'm going to keep my head down. I'm going to lock in. And this isn't kind of me saying, oh, I'm done. I'm sorry, guys. I'm burnt out. I'm sorry to myself. No, it's nothing of the sort. Quite the contrary, actually. It's funny that it's day two, but this kind of almost represents me pushing through the bullshit of whatever fickle emotions I have. Because just as the emotion of motivation is fickle, equally so are the emotions of boredom or laziness, or rather the lack thereof of motivation itself, right? Those emotions are equally as fickle. It's about taking whatever pre existing energy you have, right? Let's say I have the energy where I feel like shit. You could even take that energy, which might sound counterintuitive, and kind of mold it and guide it in a way that allows for you to feel pumped almost. Maybe not with as much vitality as feeling as pumped and hyped as you usually would, but if you just start acting, if you start doing, right? If I just get the fuck out of bed, do my daily morning routine, and start walking, I quickly noticed that, hey, I'm back to kind of the same willpower or desire almost as previously, where I wanted to do the thing. Um, Recently, I have been finding that one thing that derails kind of my immediate morning, that I definitely need to address and I need to work on, is my sleep. So unfortunately, at my job, I work typically from 3 p.m. all the way to 11 p.m. So it seems like, oh, sick. Okay, cool. 11 p.m. You're done. You head home. It's 11:15 by then. You take a shower, and yes, I take super duper long showers like a girl. By then, it's 11:45. If I'm lucky, it's you know 11:45, but typically sometimes it lasts until 12. Not just purely showering, right? I'm obviously doing the other things like brushing my teeth, water flossing, along with washing my face, but ultimately I'm pretty much hopping in bed at around 12 a.m., sometimes even 12:15 a.m. And so, just for a little bit of context, my girlfriend, she goes to work at 7, or she doesn't go to work at 7, rather she wakes up at 7, gets ready and does all her shit that she needs to do at 7:30, and then she heads out at 7:30. So typically, especially recently, ever since she got back from her vacation, what's been the case since she was on Florida time for about a week is she's been waking up at like 5:30, even 6. And so what a common occurrence is she's just waking up super fucking early. And if it's time for her to wake up, best believe it's definitely time for me to wake up. And she just be like talking to me and stuff, which is fine. Like, I love her to death. But I love my sleep. And if I don't get the highest quality sleep and I feel like shit the whole day, or at least in my mind at that moment of time, I'm so tired, then the likelihood of me accomplishing any of the tasks, or at least a lot of the tasks that I have a desire to, is going to be a little less than ideal, because maybe the energy that I have isn't as high as it previously would have been. And unfortunately, I'm all about like being the peak of my being. Like, I always want to be at the tip top shape, or, mentally, physically, spiritually, whatever it may be. I always want to be the absolute best. But chasing perfection isn't always realistic. Actually, it's never realistic. You're never going to be able to be perfect in any of these areas. Sometimes, a lot of the time, it's just about doing the thing, about taking action, just having the urgency to start the task. And then from there, you can start knowing how to do the task better and better and better, right? It's not like you're just going to be able to sit there and strategize, have analysis paralysis, and magically be able to figure out, oh, okay, so this is what I need to do in order to make this happen as quick as possible. And then I can optimize for this and then finally get that done. And it's unrealistic. And this whole automation day, 1 all the way up to day 30 of building and scaling this agency, it's not entirely realistic. I definitely could do it, but with the amount of time that I have, might not be as realistic as previously anticipated. But I think it's still a good challenge for myself because it will kind of show me where I can get within 30 days. And then beyond those 30 days of growth, right? The initial, sorry, my cat's playing around right now. She still hasn't eaten for 2 weeks, and it's not going to be that way until I make 5K a month. But she's trying to get out the last of her calories by expelling whatever energy she has on a giant fucking carrot. But where is she? Shit. I don't. There she is. So I don't know how a camera works yet. Giant carrot. Look at that bitch. Got it. Oh shit. Hey yo, that was low-key elite on God. Anyways, fuck, what was I saying? I don't remember. I think something about like not being able to strategize and be perfect in everything you're doing, right? You can't just magically, come up to the solution or with the solution of all of your problems just by sitting there thinking about it. You have to be in the bullshit in order to know where to go from there. So this is kind of, especially recently, what I don't want to say come to the conclusion of, but what I've been using as more of a better line of logic for my thinking and understanding of how to get shit done and how to get shit done good is that I've noticed a really big correlation between the quality of my questions and equally so the quality of my life. I think there's a very big correlation between that. So I guess I'll give a bit of an example. Let's say I'm making a sandwich, right? And before I even make the sandwich, I'm like, shit, dude, like, fuck, what cheese is the best for sandwiches? Like, what is the best fucking cheese to put in a sandwich? Now, that's a pretty vague and non-descriptive, like question. Like, what is the best cheese? What do you mean? There's so many different use cases for so many different cheeses that may excel in so many different areas. Bit of a shitty question. However, if you just stop sitting there and analyzing, what's the best way to make a sandwich? How do I make a sandwich? What cheese should I incorporate? Just start making the fucking sandwich. Once you start making the sandwich, you'll then know what step 4, step 5, and step 6, what are the best questions to ask for that specific step that you're stuck on, because you'll have all the context to specify exactly what it is that you need to know in that current moment of time. And from there, you'll have the highest quality answer, which will then obviously determine the highest quality outcome, which from there obviously is the highest quality of life that you can attain because you have the highest quality outcome. So, for example, let's say I just start building the sandwich. I'm like, I like turkey. I'm going to put turkey on this whole grain bread. I'll lather on some mayo. I'll lather on some mustard. I'll put some fucking iceberg lettuce on that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'll dice up a couple pickles because that's what I like. Well, shit, what cheese do I want? So, first thing you'd ask is, okay, what is the flavor profile of this sandwich that I've just created? For the sake of brevity, let's just say it's a more saltier flavor profile, right? You have the pickles, you have the turkey, maybe it's an oven roasted, kind of salted turkey. Then you understand that the flavor profile of the sandwich is going to be salty. So great. What cheeses pair best with a salty flavor profile within a sandwich? That's a way more specific and high quality question. So from there, you can get maybe a really high quality answer. Of course, being, oh, well, let's say a pepper jack would be the perfect subtlety to complement the saltiness of the sandwich because of, the creamy texture and, whatever the fuck. I'm talking out of my ass and all it has pepper, right? I'm just trying to give an example of that is a very specific cheese for that specific question, right? That's a specific answer for a very specific question that I asked because I knew what to ask. If you're going to be asking questions before you even start the thing, you don't have the context necessary to know exactly what to ask. So you need to get into the shit. You need to start doing the thing before you just keep thinking about doing the thing. You can sit here and plot for fucking hours and hours and hours on end and think, maybe I should do this or maybe I should take that path or what is the best route to take. But if you just start something, soon you'll be able to realize, oh, maybe I should start heading in this direction. Or, oh, this direction seems to be more, I guess, qualitative to what I'm trying to get. it's just better to do than to think of doing. Now, that isn't to say, oh, you shouldn't strategize about anything. You should just immediately hop into the thing without thinking. That's as silly as, hopping into a relationship and getting married within a week later because, you're just trying to see, I don't know. You're just trying to, urgency. No, there are certain things, obviously, you need to take a little bit of time. You need to strategize and you need to think about. You need to then take what you have and start determining what the optimal path for this thing is. What is the most effective for what I'm trying to get out of it? This is why in my previous video, I was trying to determine what a list of goals that I want were, right? I was trying to understand how can I be most effective to attain what it is that I want to attain? How am I going to know how to be effective if I don't even know what I'm going for? You know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense, right? Being effective in one area may be effective for one goal, right? Attaining some certain thing, but not attaining the other thing. So once you specify what the goal is and you work backwards, then you can start to understand what the systems that need to be put in place are in order to attain and achieve that goal. You want the carrot? You want the carrot? She's so hungry. She's now not even fucking playing with any of her other toys. She's playing with carrots. Coming up on 3 weeks, no eating. I shouldn't give her water either. Huh. Anyways, so yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at right now. Uh, yeah, I just thought I'd go ahead. I don't really have anything else to say. I just kind of took a nice little stroll in the park, um, and kind of watched a video on locking the fuck in, um, and achieving your goals and dreams and just getting started. And I'm so tired of sitting here not getting started with any of my goals or, even getting close to attaining any of my dreams that it's like, why would I? You really didn't see where I threw it? Anyways, why would I sit here and try analyzing and analyzing and analyzing when my entire life has just been a situation of analysis paralysis? I haven't gotten anything done. I have hardly gotten anywhere, or at least relative to the amount of effort that I've put in. Ow, bit my tongue. The amount of effort that I've put into thinking and plotting and strategizing. And what use does it provide me, or rather what benefit does it provide me to sit here and think and think and think and use all the willpower that I have, or all the energy that I have thinking about, let's say it's the perfect plan. Great, I have a limited amount of stamina, a limited amount of energy. Let's say I have 10 units of stamina and I spend 9 units crafting the perfect plan to actually achieving my goals and dreams. I'm left with 1 unit of stamina. Maybe I can barely start the first thing, or I can muster up the willpower to even, put my hands on the keyboard and open up a Google document. But when that second unit of energy is required, I'm not going to have it. And so what use did it give me doing all of that bullshit to think about doing the thing, but not actually doing the thing? Because there is nothing that's doing the thing other than doing the thing. A lot of doing the thing, I know. But I think this is a bit of a quote from Chris Williamson. I think that's his name. Shit, I'm hoping so. He has a YouTube channel of Modern Wisdom, but he says that there is nothing that is doing the thing other than doing the thing, right? Thinking about doing the thing is not doing the thing. Strategizing about the best way to do the thing is not doing the thing. Putting off doing the thing is not doing the thing. Wanting to do the thing is not doing the thing. Talking about doing the thing is not doing the thing. And trying to gain the motivation to doing the thing is not doing the thing. There's it goes on and on and on and on about how nothing but doing the thing is doing the thing. And so if you're going to do the thing, the only way to do the thing is to just do the thing. This is pretty much what I was talking about, just obviously in a bit of a different way, a quotey way, of how doing shit, just action, will get you so much farther than analyzing and trying to come up to the best, most optimized, effective, and efficient route to doing the thing. Just be urgent in how you act. Just do the thing. Once you do the thing, you'll get the thing. And if you get into some sort of roadblock, well, how is that analysis that you were just sitting there trying to, go through? How was that analysis of that going to show you that that roadblock was there? it wasn't. So you need to actually do the thing in order to identify, okay, oh shit, I hit a roadblock. Now I know what question to ask in order to overcome this hurdle. And once you obviously get past that roadblock, exponential growth. Oh God, sorry about that. Exponential growth until the next roadblock occurs, which that's simply what life is. It's challenges, it's roadblocks, right? There's always going to be something that's going to be in your way. And that's intentional. That's by nature, right? Things will snowball, but eventually the snowball is going to be so big that it simply consumes whatever obstacles are in the way, because there's such tiny hurdles compared to the amount of growth that you've attained over that time, over that rolling and rolling and rolling of that ball, that it really doesn't fucking matter what obstacles are put in your way, because you already have developed the momentum to just boom, 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 knock it all out and keep pushing forward and pushing forward, no matter what is in your way, no matter how big the obstacle is. Eventually you'll accumulate enough snow to then roll over that obstacle, right? It's simply about knowing, though, then what the obstacle is, so then you know how to overcome it. How are you going to know what obstacles are in your way if you never even start doing the thing? So anyways, that's pretty much where I'm at today. I started off with a lack of motivation, didn't even want to speak, and by the end of it, I was like, you know what, fuck it, dude, just get in front of the camera, start speaking, and whatever happens, happens. If you feel better, you'll feel better. If you want to do more, you'll do more. And well, I mean, just like that, action turned into a reaction of a good amount of energy and a good amount of desire to actually get the shit that I want to do done, because I've been starkly reminded that, hey, I'm holding myself accountable for 30 days to do the shit that I said I was going to do. So let me just do the shit that I said I was going to do. Tomorrow is my birthday. I'm turning 21 years old. I know, I'm gonna start getting gray hairs in my fucking butthole and all that, and that's beautiful. That's the great thing about being old. I'm gonna have wrinkles in places I didn't think wrinkles could occur unless it was very cold, and believe me, it's sunny and summer out, and I'm still getting wrinkles down there. So we'll see what happens. The likelihood of me drinking alcohol it's guaranteed almost at this point. But that doesn't mean that the likelihood of me, not doing the shit that I need to do is 100%, right? Just because there's a high likelihood that I'm going to obviously do more leisurely activities because it's my fucking birthday and it's supposed to be a day of relaxing and enjoying. That's a shitty excuse. I could fit in 2 hours of just fucking learning and doing and getting somewhere, and then enjoy the rest of my day. Just because it's a day off, or oh, I need to relax, or oh, it's my birthday, it's a special event, that is nothing. That's an arbitrary bullshit ass number that is going to get in the way of actually making objective progress. So I'm not going to allow that. That means I'll have to start it in the beginning of my day, right? I'll wake up, I'll likely either go to the gym or go on a hike with my girlfriend, start the day off with something nice, eat breakfast, drink a coffee, come back home, lock the fuck in. Get the shit done that I need to get done for 2-3 hours, hell, maybe even more hours, determining, or based off of where I feel like I'm at, where I feel like I want to go, and how far I want to go. And then, yeah, obviously I'll spend the latter portion of my day, with a nice, beautiful dinner with my beautiful family, maybe getting some more drinks and, enjoying my 21st birthday. And then the day after, regardless of whatever fickle emotions I feel that are either positive or negative, I will simply push through them. If they're positive, obviously it'll make that friction less than usual, and I'll be able to easily, rock out these tasks. But if they are negative, obviously I'll have to take a nice little walk, drink a big old steamy cup of Joe, and just start doing the thing. Because regardless of how I feel, it doesn't fucking matter, Progress doesn't care about how you feel. Progress just cares about what you do. And if you're going to do the shit that gets the thing, then that's all that matters. So, yeah, it's day 2 and I'm already dealing with this giant fucking hurdle. Not as a giant hurdle, but it's something that typically would stop me in my tracks usually if I didn't start creating a challenge of, all right, I need to do all this in 30 days. Yeah, no, thank God I started this challenge for myself, because now I'm holding myself accountable, and regardless of how I feel, I'm getting the shit done. So my tasks for today, obviously, because I need to at least put forward something that I'm going to do. If I don't know where to move forward, how am I going to know what to do? I don't have it on my screen right now, but I'm looking at my goals. I'm just going to kind of right now work backwards from my goals. Maybe tomorrow I'll show you guys an updated kind of list as to where my goals are at now, kind of the systems I feel as though I should put forth in order to achieve these goals, and every day what I can do in order to get closer and closer and closer and closer and closer to actually attaining, the ultimate goal of freedom of time, and then obviously freedom of income, and then eventually freedom of everything. So yeah, anyways, that's where I'm at. Thank you for watching me, or if anybody else for some reason stays until the end of this, or even starts watching. Hey, yo, that's pretty sick. Why is there a fucking fly? Yeah, I've been getting fruit flies recently. Ignore that. Summertime, and yeah. But yeah, have an amazing rest of your day. If you're looking back on this, shit, dude, day 2. This is how lazy you are, bro. Like day 2, you're already over. You're struggling, but like, bro. So yeah, just imagine how day 30 of pushing through whatever fucking feelings that you have. Imagine how crazy that is. Ah, dude, I'm just excited for the amount of progress I'm gonna make. I'm gonna be 21 fucking years old, and granted, that's an arbitrary number. The amount that I put my head down, this is either gonna make or break me. Either I'm gonna fall into the bottomless pit that is never ending of leisure and hedonism and just not doing shit with my life, or I'm going to push through what is supposed to be a period of time where I'm relaxing, enjoying my youth, and yada yada, and fucking pushing through, right? I have 4 more years until I'm supposed to be the peak male age, right? I believe it's 25, which is the heightened, or at least the peak of your mental acuity, your physical, I guess, strength and physical performance and all that stuff, at least, biologically, in terms of your biological age. So let's knock it out of the park so I can enjoy my years of 25 being the peak physical, specimen that I'll be, at the utmost best quality that I can, with a insane amount of income, an insane amount of time, and an insane connection with both my family, with God, and everyone that I ever cared about, and hopefully an insane connection with the community that I can help. I ramble like a motherfucker, so I'm not the best at helping people. I don't think I am, at least. I can provide good advice and stuff. Unfortunately, it's bad that I can't take my own advice usually. But yeah, I kind of need to get into the flow of speaking in order to really be super concise and be super effective with the words that I have. Eventually, I'm sure I'll kind of shorten the amount that I'm speaking. I'll shorten the amount that I, need to say, that is required in order to get to where I want to be, or at least to get the points that I want to get across. But as it stands right now, this is where I'm at. And in 30 days, well, I guess 28 days now, I'm just excited to see the progress that I'll make. So yeah, later guys, or later me, later. Stay safe, be safe, eat safe, don't die. I got 1 more day until my 21st, so we'll see if I die. Hopefully not. Let's hope my cat doesn't die. She shouldn't, but again, you never know what could occur. Starvation's a son of a bitch, and she's on a strictly only air diet. It's going very good for her. Well, she has a little bit of water, but that's until it lasts her. I'm not refilling that bitch. Later.